Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
Hello and happy day to all. This is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice, rejoice, and be glad in it. Welcome to Always Moving Forward with Renee. As always, we are glad that you invited us where? You invited us into your home. I trust each of you had a great week. And as always, you know, I want you to have paper and pencil, and especially today, because our co-host is going to share something with you of deep value. And what did I say? Deep value. My co-host today is Tina Brigley. For nearly 2 decades as a professional in education, the education industry, but more importantly, she's a loving wife and a mother of 2 daughters, 2 amazing daughters. Tina learned one thing that was most important, and that one thing is, both personally and professionally, anything in life is possible when you truly believe in yourself. What did I just say? Anything in life is possible when you truly believe in yourself. With everything that she's accomplished as a TEDx speaker and TV host, and now most recently with a thriving passion to help people to discover, they're going to discover blocks and barriers that get in their way of having a more meaningful and fulfilling relationship. And what we're going to talk about today is getting rid of those barriers in your life. Ecclesiastic 4th chapter 9th verse states, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them fall down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, what happens? They're kept warm. They keep one another warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Okay, and Tina's going to talk about that today. Tina's going to talk about two being together. Tina's on a mission to what? Reduce the divorce rate and bring deeper connections in families. But Tina, tell us your story.
Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to be here. It's so amazing, and I really love that because it's so part of what I believe in, really. So I guess the beginning of my story starts, I'm sitting by my pool, looking at my beautiful custom-built home. I'm thinking about the money I have in the bank. I'm watching my 2 beautiful children run around in the backyard. I have so much to be grateful for. And I'm completely miserable. Because my husband and I were in such a breakdown in our relationship and our marriage that all I could think about was, how do I get out of this marriage? How do I get out of this relationship? And so after being together for 15 years and spending a year thinking about how I'm going to get out of the relationship instead of how to work on the relationship, right, I decided to leave. And then there I was, living in my mom's unfinished basement, looking at the suitcase that became my new dresser drawer, and looking at my kids, who now I only get to see a week on, a week off. I'm arguing with my husband about when I'm going to see them next. And I just stopped and thought, what did I do? Like, was it really that bad? Like, look at my life now. I made the biggest mistake of my life. But yet I couldn't say that, right? Because I had made this choice. Now I'm going to live with this choice. Okay. And so I found my new comfort. And you might have heard of her before. Her name is Chardonnay. You know, like Chardonnay was my best friend. She was my mom's best friend too. You know, and I really learned to use Chardonnay as like this coping mechanism. And that's how I was dealing with all of those feelings that I had of going crazy and feelings of guilt and shame and remorse. Like, I was hurting my kids, I was hurting my family. And so it was a year later, almost to the day, I woke up one morning and I thought, this isn't working. Like, I think that this is actually becoming more than just a bad habit. I'm thinking that drinking every day is becoming a problem. Right. And so I was on my computer outside doing a quiz. Because that's what we do too, right? Yeah. You know, we go to Cosmo. Am I happy? Am I, you know? So I was on the computer doing a quiz. I said,
reading a magazine, taking
the quiz, because the quiz is going to tell me, right? Yes. Please tell me.
Answer your questions.
Answer the questions, right? And so I was taking this quiz, am I an alcoholic? And in that moment, up came a pop-up to become a health coach.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, a health coach? What is a health coach? I don't even know what that is, but I do know that at one time in my life, I was really healthy and really happy. And I was in the best shape of my life. What happened to me? Who am I? You know, so I ended up enrolling in that program to become a health coach.
Okay.
And then I took up this I got rid of Chardonnay. I realized she actually wasn't my best friend. She was actually my worst nightmare. But I took up this new habit of being busy. And then I was in school. I was a full-time teacher. I was now coaching. I was a health coach. And I was just busy. I was so busy, I didn't even have time to think. And then I realized that being busy was my coping mechanism. It shut my brain off to what was really happening in my life. I didn't have to feel emotions. I didn't have to feel guilty or shameful or sad. I just got to...
So you left from one thing, Chardonnay, to being busy.
Being busy. And it's socially acceptable.
Right.
You know? Like, that means I'm a powerful woman. Like, I can do everything.
Yeah.
You know, but really I was avoiding. And then I decided to invest in a personal coach. Well, she wasn't a personal coach because I was fine, right? I don't need a coach. But she was a business coach. She was going to help me grow my business. And I was on the phone with her, and she said something that I'll never forget. She said, Tina, you're too big for your school board. Your mission in life is greater than being a teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, what? There is no greater mission in life. I'm an educator. Like, I can touch, 10 lives a year. And the ripple effect would be great. But then by her saying that, I got to see what was possible for me.
Yeah, other things are out there.
Other things. And she said, do you want to be a teacher or do you want to be a coach? And I said, well, I would love to be a coach. It's just not possible for me. I'm not going to give up my job, my pension, my benefits. I'm a single mom. Like, that's just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks later, I quit my teaching job because I felt intuitively that there was a burning desire inside of me that I couldn't ignore. I was seeing messages everywhere, opening books, and there would be, you're on the right path, keep going. I turn on the radio and there was a song. And I felt like God was sending me this message that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Don't be scared. And so I wasn't fearful. I was excited. Now, fear did set in once in a while. Then when I really started taking on myself, I started doing more professional development, more personal development. And I realized that the problems that I had with my husband really had nothing to do with my husband. Nothing. They had to do with something that was missing inside of me. And when I really discovered what was missing, I had a conversation with my husband. And I mean, we're going to get into that more, but my husband and I ended up getting back together after 3 years of being separated. I did the work, and now we make our marriage work.
Okay, so audience, it can happen. You know, like Tina said, she's right there sitting where? Near her pool.
Near my pool.
And had everything. You know, the pool, the kids, a good job teaching, but she wasn't happy.
No.
She wasn't happy. And I know we all have walked that life, and some of us are still walking that life now. But, you know, she did something about it. She left, and how many of us have left and moved back home with our parents in the basement? In the basement. An unfinished basement, as Tina said. Unfinished. And then, you know, we get these crutches. We get these crutches. She became best friends with Chardonnay. But Chardonnay wasn't good for her. And, you know, we have to get those negative friends away from us. Mm-hmm. And that's what Chardonnay was. And you went to another crutch. Mm-hmm. And that other crutch was being busy. Mm-hmm. Am I right? Is that what I heard you saying?
Yeah, being busy.
Right. But, you know, you were really brave, because so many people cannot just up and leave a job like an educator.
No.
You know, but Tina, she listened. There was a voice talking to her. And that voice said, after the coach told her that you're in the wrong field. You know, you're in the wrong field. And that voice told her, you can leave your job. I'm with you. I'm holding your hand. Mm-hmm. You know, and good thing you listened to him, because so many of us, and I'm talking about us, me too, we don't listen when God talks to us. Mm-hmm. You know, he's telling us what to do, but what do? We go the opposite way and accept whatever happens and think that he told us what to do. But Tina listened, and she stepped out there, and what did she do? She found her passion. Mm-hmm. She found her passion. But, you know, when you left that job after 6 weeks, because there's so many times when, and everyone knows that, you know, I'm a former educator, retired. But there were so many times when I wanted to leave my job. But I knew every 2 weeks that paycheck was coming, and I was just afraid. No matter how, I would go and I would talk to people, and, you know, I would say, I'm walking around with my resignation in my back pocket. I couldn't take it out unless it was for fun.
Right.
You know, joking with somebody. But, you know, you went out and you pursued the unknown. Not knowing what the future had in store for you. And you just said, you know, yes, you were afraid sometimes. But did you ever think about, God, should I go back? Or did you ever want to go and knock on the door and say, hey, I made a mistake. Let me come back and get a couple of more paychecks?
No, never. So this is what I really got present to. When I walked in to my teaching job on Mondays, I was wishing it was Friday. When Friday, I couldn't wait for Saturday. And Sunday, I had so much anxiety. You know that, I call it anxiety, but it's almost like that anxiety I feel is when you know intuitively that this is not for you, but you're too afraid to make a leave. And I felt really guilty about that because I teach children. If I'm going to be the best that I can be, I get to walk in that door happy and content and loving my job. And you know what? In hindsight now, the person that I am today would be the greatest educator.
Yeah.
Because I have the mindset that it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm going to love it every single moment of it. But at the time, it was how you show up in one area of your life is how you're showing up in all.
Right.
I wanted to leave my husband, I left. I wanted to leave my job, I left. Like I was just running, but I had no idea why I was running. I just knew. So when I found my purpose, it was easy. Okay, well I'm running to my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But when I really sit back in hindsight, there was things that I didn't appreciate about the education system. There were things that I wanted to change about the education system, and I felt powerless. There was things I wanted to change in my relationship, and I felt powerless. I just felt a loss of power in my life.
Okay.
And my answer was to just leave. I can't change this. I can't change my relationship. I can't change the education system. So when I left teaching, the day that I decided to leave, I couldn't feel my knees. They were shaking. My hands were shaking. I was pacing in my living room. God, please just tell me, is this the right thing? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I acting impulsively? And on my kitchen table, there was a library book. And inside the library book was a bookmark. And I had to return that library book, and it was called Her Own Hero. That was the story.
Okay.
And so I opened up the book to take out the bookmark. And I don't even remember the exact quote, but you know how things just pop up?
Yeah.
It was like plain as day. The message was something along the lines of, you are doing great things. Know that you're your own hero. It was just, okay, that I just asked for it.
You had a lot of messages.
There was messages
around,
everywhere.
Seems like, yes.
You know, and so when I went to my principal and I said, listen, I made a choice. Now, I didn't say a decision. It was a choice. It wasn't a decision, because if it was a decision, I
Right.
wouldn't have left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I would have had all these reasons and considerations, I would have stopped. But it was a choice. I choose to leave teaching because I choose to leave teaching. You know, and when I said I'm leaving, are you sure? You don't seem certain. I said, I'm course correcting my life. I'm taking a jump. Next week I will have zero income coming in. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm scared. I'm scared crapless, and I'm doing it anyways.
Now, you were still living in your mother's basement?
At this point, no, I had bought a house.
Oh, okay.
I had a mortgage. I was a single mom.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, that's probably an important part. I stayed with my mom short term, and then I
Okay.
bought a house, and I got my life back on track,
Okay.
you know, but the whole time, still had a mortgage. I had a house. I'm still drinking daily, stopped drinking, still looking. Now I still have a great life. I'm not happy. I have everything that I could want. I'm not happy. And then when I left my job, part of me now is almost like wondering, was I trying to sabotage my life? Like, look it, I screwed up again. Look it, now I'm broke. Now I lost my house. But because I invested in myself and my personal development, that never came up for me.
What did your kids say? Your girls say about you leaving?
They were actually really excited.
Oh, okay.
And the reason, actually, I'm going to retract that. In the beginning, I taught at the school that they went to.
Oh, okay.
So I got to see them every day.
Yes.
And so because we had shared custody, now I wasn't going to see them every day. I wasn't going to see them for a whole week, and that was new for them. So in the beginning, the transition was not easy. It was very difficult for them because that was their safety blanket. Mom is here with us,
Yeah.
and now mom is gone. So there was a big transition that I had to deal with, and a lot of conversation that had to take place. So it was a tough transition in the beginning. and they didn't really, but then when they saw me light up and I was happy and fulfilled and I literally was transforming, they were saying, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you for investing in yourself."
Oh,
Now,
that's great.
at the time, they were 9 and 7 years old, and they could see what a difference it was being with me when I wasn't drinking. Now, I wasn't one of those people that drank in front of my kids. I waited until they went to bed. As soon as they went to bed, I started drinking. And if they weren't home, I was drinking from the time I got home from work.
So, did you consider yourself an alcoholic?
I never considered myself an alcoholic, and this is why. I feel like that's a label. Saying I'm an alcoholic is saying that intuitively, like, I have this problem. And for me, I wasn't born an alcoholic. I'm not going to die an alcoholic. That was a habit that I chose to take. And that's not who I am. And I want to say that to people that are watching, like, people do like to put labels on things. And then it defines us. Our alcoholism, our drug addictions, our other, if we're gambling, we're like, I'm a gambler, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict. No, you're not. You're not. It's...
Okay, now she's coaching us now.
Sorry.
No, come on.
But it's really like life happens.
Yeah.
We make choices. And then we define ourselves by our behaviors. We're not our behaviors. That's not who we are. That's who we decided we had to be to protect ourselves. And so I really discovered that that's how I coped with my life. But that's not who I am.
Okay.
That's not who God put me on this earth to be, an alcoholic.
Amen. Yes.
No. So I had to get back to my roots. What's my purpose here in life? And I can't serve my purpose if I'm drinking every day.
Okay. Now, viewers, you heard that. You heard that. We shouldn't be telling ourselves, I'm this, I'm that, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict. Watch what comes out of your mouth. You really need to watch what comes out of your mouth, because you're better than that, as Tina just said. God didn't put you here to be an alcoholic.
It got me off the hook of taking responsibility for my life.
Okay.
It was a lot easier for me to drink and avoid what I was feeling. And now this is my story. I wasn't taking responsibility. Now, I don't want to put that judgment on anybody else, but I encourage people to have a look. What are you avoiding? Because the greatness inside of people can't come out when we're stuffing it. And that's how I view people, like people that are using that as a crutch, is because that's the tool that works for them right now in their life. They don't know what else is available. I didn't know what was available. I didn't even know what personal development was.
Right. Tina, time goes by so fast on this show. But tell you what, viewers, you've got to come back. Next Sunday, Tina's going to be, next Sunday, you've got to come back, because we're going to have Tina back. We're going to have Tina back. But I want you to know, if you need prayer or you need to just talk to me, you can reach me at 313-657-5556, or you can always email me at gwealths111@gmail.com. But I want Tina to tell you how you can get in touch with her. So Tina, give them your number, your email, your website, whatever you want.
Okay, you can find me. My website is www.tinabrigley, TinaBrigley.com. You can find me on Facebook at Tina Brigley Coaching. I also have a private Facebook group, and it's called Relationship Transformation, Unlocking the Secrets to Success. So there's lots of ways to find me on social media. My Phone number? Yeah, I'll give you my phone number, 519-819-3184. So, 3184? 3187.
Say it again.
519-819-3184.
Okay.
Why did I mess up my nothing happens by chance.
Right. But you know, before we go, I just have to tell you how I met Tina. My husband and I was at a networking event, and it was a Yes Network. Tina was a guest speaker. And when she got on stage and she started talking, and you know how people always sit up straight, but everyone was leaning forward. She had so much information in the short time that you were up there that everyone, it was like they were drooling because it was so important what she was talking about. Some people even had to take the tissue out and dry their eyes. But I looked at my husband and I said, I've got to meet her. I've got to get her on the show so she can come and tell you her story and how she can help you. Again, make sure you're with us next Sunday because I want you to continue hearing this young lady all the way from Canada. She's here to help each and every one of us. So, as I always say, God loves you, and so do we. So, we'll see you next week.
Bye, thank you.
I hope you enjoy Always Moving Forward with Renee.
Moving forward.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Vicki Winans, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
Hi everybody, I'm telling you everything that happened to me that was good, God did it. I'm Evelyn Turrentine AG and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Pastor D. Alexander Bullock of Preachers of Detroit and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
This is Bishop Edgar Van of Second Ebenezer Church in Detroit, Michigan, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Stannis. You know me best as Thelma from the TV show Good Times, and you are watching Bell Global Network.
Hi, I'm Clifton Davis, and you're watching Bell Global Network.
My name is Mike Duggan, and I'm watching the Bell Global Network.
Hey, keep it locked. It's your boy D. Hattie watching the Bell Global Network. You know how it is.
Hi, I'm Charlie Langton, and you're watching the Bell Global Network.
Hi, this is Martha Reeves, and you're watching Bell Global Network.